dice stormers or something, but I have no knowledge of any actual Pathfinder group.
Yeah, and the fact that we're starting at level 5, I'm kind of excited and really nervous because there's a lot of stuff that I'm just so used to being like a magic user, and like I've got some magic, but this is cool that it's limited in this world, which is fun.
For now, give it a few decades.
We'll break it.
Alright, so respectively, both Dr. Inwood and Michellangelo have been approached by... he has a medical degree from Oxford. He is a doctor. You've been approached by a peculiar man to be part of a group called the not Strategic Resource. That's Marvel.
We're freaking out.
Can you tell I got 4 hours of sleep last night?
Oh no.
You've been approached to be part of a group that is an occult-focused what is the word I'm looking for? Task force. A allied group, off the books, for the most part, military operation that, unbeknownst to you now, but is called the Strange Rejects Division by the rest of the allied forces, and by the members of the group as well. You've been instructed to meet at a fort, an airbase, actually, in the Highlands of Scotland. A significant distance for the both of you. I think both of you were in England at the time of your recruitment, which, I mean, significant distance for England is different from an American perspective, but
yeah.
Tangents. So how you get to the base is up to you. There's trains, you can ride, there's carts. Automobiles are not in a high volume yet. There are some, but they are mostly a resource of the war, and even then, a rare resource indeed. Trains are probably the fastest
I'll take the train.
mode of transportation.
Yep, train is the way.
Train is the way.
You separately arrive at the fort. The fort is called Fort McKinley. It is ostensibly the base of operations for this group. What we're going to do, you get introduced, you are brought into a debriefing room, again, separately. You even probably arrive at different times. For the purposes of what we're going to do real quick, you are both going to meet the same man at different times. He's, for the most part, going to give you the exact same spiel with some minor differences in tone, inflections. What you say to him will probably affect how he says things. But when he gives you information, it's going to be the same information to the both of you. So that way we're not going through the same conversation twice.
Cool.
But there's also no real reason that your characters would have gotten there at the same time, or even had this debriefing at the same time.
Got it. Yeah.
Cool.
So you are left in, it's a military room through and through. It's not an interrogation room by any means, but it's not particularly comfortable. It's got a table, chair, fireplace that's not lit because it's summer, and you've been brought beverage by a private. You can tea, water. Those are basically your options. And after a few moments of waiting, Michellangelo, you wouldn't know this, but Jessica, would know this. Michellangelo actually ends up waiting a little bit longer than Dr. Inwood does before older man, probably early 50s, late 40s. Yeah, so not old by any means. He's weathered. Oh, okay. He looks older than he is. He's got one of those faces like he probably didn't age until 30, and then he hit 50 all at once and hasn't aged since then either.
I know people like that.
Distinguished. He's got almost like a Michael Caine kind of look, where they're like vaguely disapproving. White hair, short, clean-shaven, thick, dark eyebrows. And he walks in with a cane. And he looks at both of you, and he's in just the thickest, most like posh British accent, which I will not butcher here. It says, "Greetings. I am Sir Albert Landon. I am the Sergeant Major in charge of your division." You can tell, and he's got in his assistant's hand, who's followed in behind him, you see there's a stack of 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 like dossier kind of pieces of paperwork that he sets on the desk, and then the assistant leaves, and Sir Landon kind of walks around. I'm here to debrief you on the unit that you'll be working with, and to get a feel for who you are. Indubitably, our goal is to defeat the enemy and to save the world. Even if we have to, and this is where his speech diverges. To you, Michellangelo, he says, even if we have to get our boots muddy at that time. To you, Dr. Inwood, he says, even if we have to work with disgusting non-humans.
Okay. Yes, quite non-humans.
Yo, your boss is racist.
You should. Have you described what I look like?
We haven't met each other yet. You're
so,
talking. This is an NPC, not me. That's not me.
Oh, it's not. No, he said to you.
Yeah, but
yeah, he said that to you
separately.
Oh, right.
We're being debriefed.
Yeah, you're. Okay, mm-hmm. I can't. Okay, I'm not. Okay,
you're not in the room with me.
Sorry, I was gonna interact with you. Okay, no worries.
Yeah. So no, he says to you, even if we have to get our boots dirty.
Yes.
So he's definitely that kind of racist where he will never explicitly be bad to you. He will never explicitly say anything to you.
Yeah.
He just feels it.
Oh god.
Which that's his whole thing. I am a Sergeant Major. I was in the Army for many years. I retired, and have been brought back into active duty to lead this group. I am also a member of the Hermetic Order of the Winter Chalice. And this is the dossier for your boss.
Oh, yeah. Yep, that's pretty much exactly what I pictured him as.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Wearing the, very British, or whatever. Very much. Okay. This is the guy who's talking to us? Yeah, Albert. Yeah.
This is the guy who's talking to you right now.
Cool.
He pulls around another one. Our transportation and our cavalry cavalry needs are being met by one Lance Daffodar Kaur. He is a member of the military of the princely state of India. He is also an orc. He is a occultist, or he has occult abilities. He's also of the Sikh faith and covers himself completely, so do not be surprised by that. I don't have a picture for him because I couldn't find one that didn't just look super tacky. But this is your transportation expert. Lance Daffodar is a Indian military rank that is equivalent to a cavalry officer.
Nice.
And he is technically a member of the British Empire.
Yep.
This is again a split up from you guys. He says, to you, Dr. Inwood, he says, the only other human in our group, and to you, Michellangelo, he says, are one of our other humans. So it's not quite a difference and not quite anything explicit, but it's is a melee fighter, a Floraidh O'Kelly. She is, and there's like this pause where he's not quite sure how he wants to see this. An enthusiastic participant in our group.
Oh gosh.
Oh, wow.
Oh gosh. Ooh.
She's also a civilian asset like yourselves.
At sword point. Wow. She's one of the strange rejects.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's a very nice name. Very Scottish in the spelling.
Florida.
Florida. Oh my.
This is gonna be wild. Ooh, gosh.
For context, because I know you know what this is, she's a Black Blade Magnus.
Sweet. Very cool.
Because those are fun.
Eventually, I'm going to actually play one of those.
Eventually. We have, across the pond, we've been loaned a Green Beret dwarf from America. He is a engineer of sorts, Sergeant Marcus Breccia of...
No! Way! Yes! Is this the senior? This is the dad?
This would be senior.
This would be
Technically,
I am not born yet.
Marcus has not been born in his...
I'm so happy!
I was wondering if that was going to get tied in.
So cool.
There was no way that was not happening.
I was like, wait, this is around the time, like, it could be. That's so cool.
Mm-hmm. And he doesn't really hang out and meet with Oscar till World War II, so...
Mm-hmm.
Yep, which is only Weird War One.
Mm-hmm. He is an occultist, is a dwarf, so has an affinity for the earth. But a pleasant fellow for an American.
Does he like vampires? I'm just kidding. I'm just...
Unknown.
That is really cool.
And then this is where your guys' this is another major divergence. To you, Michellangelo, he says, and then our final member of our team is a doctor, another Kingsman, like myself, Dr. Alan Inwood. So an occultist, accomplished alchemist, medical practitioner. He's a civilian asset who's agreed to join our team. And then, Zach, why don't you describe what Dr. Alan Inwood looks like?
Okay. Where's my he is. I guess I should probably find a picture. I guess I didn't, but he is so nondescript it's painful. He looks like the most bland Englishman you've ever seen. Just straight brown hair, generic kind of features. He seems to always be wearing a like a doctor's what's the word, lab coat, and of course he's wearing his slacks and like the collared shirt with a tweed vest over it.
I'm imagining the guy that Harry Potter turned into to get into the Ministry of Magic. That was like the older guy that was just like pretty plain. Never mind.
You mean who Ron turned into?
No, Ron turned into the redhead.
Yeah. Okay. Well, he's not old. He's maybe early 30s,
Okay.
late 20s.
Well, he wasn't
he's not
old, but yeah. Okay.
All right, yeah,
Okay.
he's 30.
Okay. 30.
I will have to find a picture for him.
Exciting.
To you, Dr. Inwood, he says, our final member of our group is a stealth expert, a occult creature, a Kappa. She calls herself Michellangelo. She claims to be from the United States as well, another civilian asset, but she is a Kappa, and they are rarely found outside of their home country.
Interesting.
And then, what does Michellangelo look like?
Oh, I do have a picture of Michellangelo. She has just, this big shell on her back. She's got an orange bandana that covers the top of her head. She's got greenish skin with like some gold little flecks all over it. She's 3 feet tall.
Short.
And she's definitely got this just like punk, excited attitude of almost like a tourist. Just really excited. And yeah, just really happy. I will show you that picture.
Okay.
Though.
Dang, I can't believe I didn't find a picture for.
So good. Behold, Michellangelo.
Wow.
Hey!
Wow.
Yep, she's happy to be there.
Happy go lucky.
Happy, happy, happy. Yep.
With that, it mostly concludes your speech. It gives you kind of like general rundowns where you'll be staying when you're at the fort. For the most part, you'll get deployed from the fort to things that need your attention. There's not enough teams to really cover a lot of the weird goings on, and they're constantly uncovering more things. But it gives you kind of a rundown, like their spies and their informants and their scouts have noticed like a ramping of occult features in not the Axis powers, Central powers. There we go. In the Central powers plans, there are also just things that are happening on the outskirts of the war that are just interfering logistics-wise. There's some stuff happening down in Africa that is tying up some of the Empire's resources, the British Empire's resources. It's noticeably just kind of a mess right now. And once you get with your team, the goal is to try and collect, destroy, or interrupt any occult phenomenon.
Put out fires, if it were.
Indeed, indeed. We are the knife in the dark, gentlemen, ladies. On we go. And so he takes you to Barracks, where you see Marcus Breccia, dwarf, short, close-cut army regulation, dark black wavy hair, trimmed beard in shorter than most dwarf styles, but still pretty long for a military cut. And it's definitely one of those things where there was paperwork that got filled out to make sure that doesn't get him in trouble. Almost like a cat, kind of like leaning on the metal bed head frame, sharpening just this absolutely ridiculous, like 7-foot-long black broadsword, is Floraidh, and she's huge. Like, she's like probably almost as tall as Shaq. Like, it's just this absolutely just like giant woman.
Cool. Do different dice
I'll
for
double check.
orange dice.
I will take Arcana. I don't think we have orange, but we've got plenty of red.
You just roll your thing and I'll get my own up.
Get my spicy
We have
dice.
a bag of holding
Woot woot.
of all of our
A
dice.
bag of dice holding. Okay. That would be an 18.
18. Okay. Couple things trip you up. She looks human. There's no distinguishing like features on her that say non-human. Like obviously, like that's not a perfect indicator. Like appearances are like inherently deceiving, especially when magic is in play.
Uh-huh.
You know for a fact that sword is magic. Like it is not quite the like otherworldly, time-worn future tech that you've been exposed to in your past.
Mm-hmm.
But it is of a better quality and an unknown kind of like metallurgic property that there is no way that is a sentient from Earth made weapon, short of an artifact from one of the gods of the past kind of deal.
Got it.
There's also a faint, like ritualistic, arcane nature to the scarring on her body, which like the stuff that you see on the face in the picture, that translates Avatar style basically across her entire body, like down her arms.
Mm-hmm.
Wanna know how I got these scars?
Very well. The first order of business. I have a satchel. I'm throwing that in there.
Are we together now, or are you going in there first? Like this?
I would say
I think we're together now.
you are in the same room. Whether or not you come in at the same time, not super important.
You can go first.
First order of business, I would like you to all sign these. I'm going to start handing out papers. It's just a simple, legally binding document stating that should you die in the line of duty, I have sole scientific rights to your bodies. Nothing to be alarmed about, just, as a scientist, it's not often that I get to meet such interesting individuals, and perhaps you could further the cause of science, even after your demise.
Marcus reads through it thoroughly, looks up, and just says, "There's nothing in here pertaining to your role as a doctor. What's to stop you from just allowing us to expire?"
Ah, well, I wouldn't allow you to expire. As long as you're useful, of course.
Oh, gosh.
It all depends. Are you more useful as a specimen or as an ally?
You're talking to your father from the missing campaign. It's so beautiful.
In a different life.
Let's just appreciate that moment.
He kind of like twists his head and looks at you. He's got this very like bold, like you can't knock me over kind of stance going on. It's very dwarven.
Oh yeah.
Which
I assure
you've
you.
never had.
Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say you've never had like a ton of experience with dwarves specifically.
I would.
Dwergar, some of the deep races, a little.
Mm-hmm.
Just like the nature of what you've done has brought you in more contact with them.
Yeah.
So there's overlap there, and he looks at you and says, "I'll read this through. I'll think about it."
I
But
assure you, I do not mean any of you harm. This is simply a contingency. I have taken the Hippocratic Oath, and I will not cause any of you harm.
Marcus nods and then just goes back to very dedicatedly cleaning out his shotgun.
Yes, a trench gun. Well,
Floraidh looks at you, walks over, and just towers over you. Puts her hand on your shoulder and is carrying this fucking huge greatsword in just one hand, like it's fucking piece of like plywood, or not plywood, piece of like it's like a 2x4.
yeah.
And she's just leaning over you, just looks at you and says, "Well, doctor, ooh, that is not a Scottish accent. I don't know what just came out of my mouth."
Back it up.
Hang on.
Back it up. She looks at you and says, "Well, doctor, the question remains, do you drink when you work?"
Drink what?
The fact that you have to ask lets me know. And he just walks away.
You're not a drinker? You don't drink anything.
Well, feel free to peruse
in this
them, sign them, and get them back to me at your leisure.
Ekjot walks over to you and just hands you the paperwork that's already been filled out and signed. Doesn't say a word to you and just walks back to his bunk.
Excellent. Thank you.
Sir Landon looks a little like perturbed, but not in like a way that like is like expressly like is expressed visually. Like there's like a little bit more stiffness to his stance. Maybe a little bit more stiffness in the upper lip, but and he just doesn't say anything. Michellangelo, you walk into this scene where there is doctor. He's got his like doctor bag. There's as you walk in, this huge redheaded woman with a greatsword just walks out of the room.
Howdy, partner.
What? What?
I say to her, howdy, howdy, howdy.
She leans down, like, you know how, like, when adults talk to kids and they're, like, squatting?
Yep.
She leans down and she puts her hand on, like, her knee and then her head up, just like I'm doing right now.
Yeah.
And kind of cocks her head at you and she says, "Are you a talking turtle?"
Ha! No, I can understand why you might think that. I'm a Kappa. Are you from America?
No.
Oh, well, okay. I'm Michellangelo. What's your name?
My name is Floraidh.
Well, nice to meet you. And I put out my tiny little hand.
Just encapsulates it. Well, it is a right pleasure to meet you, Michellangelo.
Nice to meet you.
I'm gonna go get something to drink. Would you like to come with me?
Oh, I reckon that would be great, partner. Let's go. I will just shadow her, and just as fast as my little feet can go, which is 20 feet per 6 seconds. It's very small.
Which is funny, because she's actually got a 40-foot movement speed.
She does? Awesome. Oh, no. Oh, okay. It's great.
She's waiting for you. And then after a little bit, she almost gets, like, huffy, and she, like, picks you up, and just, like, football carries you.
Oh, nice.
And instead of going to, like, any of the gates, she ends up, like, straight up just, almost like parkouring, like, jumps up and then, like, wall runs up to the top of one of the exterior walls.
Wow, you're really good at that.
Well, thank you. I must say, it's an excellent view from up here. And you notice that, like, there's so the fort you guys are at is in an older, like, stone fort area. It's been repurposed. So it's like an older Scottish hill fort that has stone walls. And the part of the wall that you're at has been, like, maintained enough that it's not falling down, but it doesn't look like there gets a lot of traffic where you're at. And there are just straight up 10 casks just chilling at the top of this thing with, like, it's not a lawn chair, but it's like wooden folding chair. And it almost looks like she's just brought all of this stuff up and has just left it here.
Oh, cool.
She pours you a drink. So what brings you to Scotland and our little team, Michellangelo?
Oh, well, this Dr. Mr. Jones guy, he told me that there's a group of people that that appreciate, I guess, differences and strangeness, and that I could be really helpful. I've got quite a list of skills in my repertoire. That was the word I was looking for. Repertoire that I can just kind of use, and I think he liked it, so that's why I'm here.
Interesting.
Wanna see?
So you were.
Wanna see one? One of my skills?
And she's, like, already, like, filled up, like, this huge tank, like, horned tanker, and is just sitting. She's like, might as well.
Awesome. I will go ahead and use my vanishing trick, and I will disappear.
Turn invisible. Well, that is useful.
Yep.
Do you use it to kill people?
My voice is now behind her. Well, yeah, if I need to. I mean, it's mostly for sneaking up on people. Not really. You can't really turn invisible and it kills somebody unless they're, I don't know, afraid of turning invisible people and then they die of a heart attack.
Can't say that I've killed many people by giving them a heart attack.
And now back in front of her,
Oh, well.
like, reappear.
Good to know. She's like giving you like this 1,000-yard stare. While she's doing this, like, good to know. Good to know. I would suggest not signing your body away to the doctor.
Doctor?
Which is context. You'll find out.
Okay.
Oh, I was gonna get you a drink. Terribly, terribly rude of me. Do you like dark?
Sure.
Excellent. She pours you, again, just massive cup.
You're totally cool. So, she is 16 years old. I'm pretty sure she's never had a drink in her life. So, she's just gonna not regulate her drinking at all, and she's just gonna just drink a bunch of this at once, whatever it is.
Cool. It is a dark ale, probably about as dark as you can get it.
Just takes a big drink like it's...
So it's... It is incredible.
Oh no, we lost him. Is it because you're...
Describe a dark beer, dark ale. There's some like nutty aftertones. But especially someone who grew up in Japan and then has like a real obsession with the American like soda pop construct. This looks a ton like soda, like dark Coke, and tastes absolutely nothing like it. It's like when you like grab a glass and you fully think it's milk, and then it's just but it's orange juice, and it's the first couple seconds it's the worst milk you've ever had in your life.
What do you call this?
This is the Blackhead Blood Ale.
Oh, that explains it. I was expecting root beer.
Oh, you are an American.
Can you pause recording so that I can send this using my email and not have my email be recorded?
You can use my email. I don't mind. Do you want me to do that while you're going? Alright. I think you should get back to Zach. They're gonna enjoy a drink, I'm sure.
He'll probably drink you into the ground.
Yeah.
Zach, Alan's shown his bed, his cot. They have a space in the back that is set up for medical equipment, so you do have, when you're at base, you do have access to an alchemy lab and the medical section also functions as like a healer's kit when you're on base. So don't have to worry about that.
Yes, I suppose this is adequate.
Well, we're a bit stretched thin at the moment, so we'll have to make do.
Well, at least I shall have some privacy without other faculty members breathing down my neck, as it were.
Yes. Well, sometimes oversight leads to a lack of progress.
I couldn't agree more.
And having walked you back into medical room where you're kind of away from everyone. Sir Landon leans in close to you. Dr. Unwin says, I did not feel comfortable broaching this during our debrief session, mostly because we do have people watching, gauging responses to information displayed, but I feel like you and I are of a like mind when it comes to the progress of our country. And I feel like you would find a group of such like-minded people to your benefit. And he slides over a silver coin that has like this intricate maze design with a little chalice in the center.
Okay.
Freaking.
Says,
no.
I know. But it's a.
He slides it over to you. It says, no need to make any decisions now, but I feel that you and your work would thrive in tandem with the Hermetic Order of the Winter Chalice. And he flips the coin over, and the backside is blackened. And more appropriately, I feel our sister organization, the Hermetic Order of the Black Chalice, would be at your best interest.
Well, it is certainly something that I will consider, of course.
Of course.
I hope I wasn't too forward in the documentation that I supplied to my other team members. I simply thought it prudent that they prove
prudence and forethought is approved. I approve of it.
I'm glad to hear that.
Maybe someday, with excellent work and a little help from the occult, we can finally have a great British Empire free of the undesirable. And he just leaves the room.
As he's leaving, I look forward to the progress we can make.
Progress is the defining feature of our empire.
Progress for the sake of progress
must be discouraged.
This is so great.
Oh, man, this is good.
I'm gonna pick up my way back to the area, I guess. Florida takes me back.
So you guys take a little bit, you get into your, you get a feel for what your space is. There is a mess hall, like your standard force stuff. For you, Michellangelo, there is a rec center that has billiards, and they do have a card table.
Oh!
I'm gonna freaking love playing this character.
Card table. Excellent.
Card table. There's they're very like Western culture kind of like rec stuff. Like there's none of the stuff that would have been considered recreation from your family. Even like remotely there. It's very Anglo-Saxon.
Wow, this place is grand.
I can't believe you.
It's harder than you think to talk this way. When I see Marcus, I like to walk up to him. Have I ever met a dwarf? Or heard of them? Like I would recognize that he's a dwarf?
Not just a short
I
person.
would say roll me a... I don't know what a good skill for that would be.
I don't know if it matters.
I rolled a 4.
Shane, she just rolled a 4.
Cool. I would say...
Make a sensitivity roll.
No.
See how sensitive.
No, there are, from your culture, there are creatures that match similar descriptions. It's not a perfect, like, one-to-one. Like, he's got, like, similar, like, he's got the wild, dark beard and hair of, like, an Oni kind of deal. But he's not tall, he's not big. He's taller than you. He's like 4, almost 5 foot. He's tall for a dwarf. He's actually pretty big.
Oh. I'll walk up to him when I see him. Howdy there, partner. Are you from America?
I am. I'm from Seattle, Washington. You sound like you're from the South.
Oh, yeah. Are you near New York?
That's so good.
Wait, are you from America that's in New York? You're from New York and America's in it? Because I know some people do that.
No, I'm from America. I'm from the United States of America, but I'm not from New York. I'm not near New York. We're on the other side of the country. It's a very common mistake. Washington, D.C. and Washington State are a little different.
Oh, I've never heard of it. That's great. What do you like to do for fun?
Well, a few things. I like to garden.
Just breathing in that freedom. Free air. Probably is really
yes,
nice.
I also like building things, and well, I got my eye on maybe building a house someday.
Houses are good.
Houses are good. I got a little neighborhood near where I'm from that I think would make a good house for some kids someday.
Well, maybe I can come visit sometime.
Well, we will see. You are... How old are you, miss?
I'm 16. My name is Michellangelo. Nice to meet you.
And he puts his hands out. I am Marcus Breccia of the clan Breccia. You are very young.
Oh, well, I'm just full of adventure. So, and I've got skills that I can do. I mean, nothing like building houses and all that, but I can do some cool stuff.
I believe you. Everyone here has a unique skill set, and I believe that working as a team and working towards a community, we can make this world a better place.
Yeah.
Maybe some place where the folks like you and I can walk around down the street without people looking at us twice.
Oh, most people don't even see me, so I don't think they can see me twice. But I understand the sentiment.
Mm-hmm.
Do people look at you?
Have you had a chance? Not myself as much, but some of my people and some people like me, like us. In a world where humanity is the majority and humanity doesn't know we exist, it's hard.
Well,
there's a balance, and
that's downright rude of those people, not paying attention to you. And where I come from, you just don't do that. You have to be polite no matter who they are, even if you don't like them.
Well, there's value in being polite, but there's also value in standing your ground and looking out for what's right.
Right. Freedom. Partner.
That's right, freedom. After you guys meet everybody, kind of get together, You go down for the night. There's like the strict, like this is when you go to bed. This is when you wake up. It is still a military base. How good you guys are at that's going to be up to you guys. The next morning, you're woken up, you have breakfast, and then you are immediately, there's a private, he runs down and tells you guys that you're needed in the Situation Room. Which is it's a poor description for what this room is. The room is basically every like rich, like old money, rich person office that you see in TV ever. Like the thick, heavy leather chair behind a big oak desk. Just bookshelves. There's like a globe in like a golden or brass container. And the Situation Room has just been co-opted by Sir Landon as his office / command center.
Awesome. Situation Room.
Yeah. You come in, he says, excellent. I want to have you dispatched soon. And he pulls out off of his desk a dossier again, and he flips it open and he slides out it's a map. It's just, I guess he doesn't really have a dossier for it. That's a more modern kind of concept. He has a map on his desk of Northern Europe, specifically part of the... I'm just forgetting words all over the place today.
North, south, east, west.
North, the British, that strait between England and...
The Channel.
Yeah, the British Channel. That's the one. Up near the northern part of it, near kind of Scotland and...
Ireland.
Just gonna keep doing it.
Scandinavia.
Doesn't matter.
Norway.
Scandinavia, that kind of like northern area.
The North Sea?
Yeah, Wales.
Yes. Closer to the coastline of Scotland up north, there is this area that he points to and says, we're going to need you to go here. And it's this small, he outlines this small, it's almost like a probably 10 square mile area. It says ships go around it. You go past this area here, ships go past this area here. Fine. This area, open water, no rocks that we know of, a clear shipping lane for as long as we've had shipping through there. They go through this area now. They do not come back. There is no wreckage. There is no noticeable explosion. The ships just disappear.
Sounds like an adventure to me.
Sounds like a problem.
Oh, well, an adventure. Yeah, we'll fix it. That's what I meant.
Excellent. So I'm sending you out.
I'm going to surreptitiously kind of move around the room so that I'm closer to the Kappa.
Okay. Make just like a general stealth check just to see how like obvious that you're kind of like moving.
Everybody notices.
A 6.
Oh dear.
6. Everyone sees that you've moved over and you've kind of readjusted your position so you're next to the Kappa. There's no like inherent like, it's not like you're just staring at her and walking to her. Like but it's definitely like, it's acknowledged that you've gotten closer to her. Is there anything you're looking for specifically, or just trying to get close?
Just being close.
She's kind of eyeballing you, but she's not interrupting the speech
I'm not. I
Mhm.
would say I'm not even looking at you. I just moved closer, and I'm just paying attention to the debrief or the briefing.
Cool. I'll stand my ground. I'm not wary of you.
I'm not giving like any overt signs that I'm particularly interested.
We're gonna be friends. That's what's happening. Never mind. Oh, I've got a friend.
Good. He gives you coordinates. He looks at Ekjot. I'm gonna butcher that pronunciation every time. I should have picked an easier name. Doesn't matter. He's gonna look at Ekjot and he says, "We're gonna make sure that." He gives them the coordinates. He says, "We're gonna need you to go and get ready to leave now." And he dismisses him. He says, "You can go. Get ready." Looks at you all and says, "Collect what you need. Meet Ekjot out on the tarmac in 20."
Cool.
Very well.
You're dismissed.
I'm going to stop you in the hallway.
Oh, well, howdy, partner.
Hello. I haven't met you yet. I assume that you are the, how is it, Michellangelo? The Kappa?
That is correct. And what, you're the doctor or something?
I am Dr. Alan Inwood.
Oh, I've heard of you.
Here's a legal document for you to sign.
Are you from America?
I am not.
Okay. What's this document say?
Oh, it's just a simple formality, legally binding document stating that should you die in the line of duty with rightful cause, that you forfeit your body to as a specimen for scientific testing.
Let me get this straight. If I die, you're going to use my body for science?
That would be correct, yes.
Sign me up!
Just sign right here. Excellent. I think we are going to make excellent friends.
Wow. Have you ever met, what part of the body do you use?
All of it.
Oh. You don't
waste not, want not.
You don't eat it, do you? This isn't like your
no.
Can.
No,
okay.
no, not for consumption.
Okay.
At first, it is for. It is for.
Excuse me, I'm
dissection.
Not some animal meat.
I did not say you were. It is simply for dissection and study of anatomy, and.
Can we add a little precursor to that though, or a little footnote that I'd like to be dead for like. Maybe a day before you just start cutting into me, just in case.
Well, I'm sure that should you die in the line of duty, it will take longer than a day for me to get you back to a lab.
Excellent. As long as that's clear, I would like a day of rest before it's... Yeah.
Of course.
Okay.
Of course.
If that's possible. Excellent. Well, nice to meet you, Doctor.
It was excellent meeting you. I'm sure we'll get along famous.
Oh, yeah.
In fact, there is someone I think you might like to meet. I'm going to pull out of my pocket a little turtle. Does not look like a normal turtle.
Oh my goodness! You stole a baby. What is this?
This is Leo.
Leo!
He is my friend.
Does he talk?
He does not talk to others. He talks to me.
It's just a turtle. This
cool. Particular turtle does not look turtle colored.
What does it look like?
It looks kind of flesh colored. It is the same shape. It is the same shape as a turtle, but it looks like it's made out of flesh. It moves around and stuff.
I think I'm gonna be sick.
Don't mind him.
Does he have a shell?
He's the shape of a shell.
Is the shell also skin colored?
It's like a soft shell turtle, though.
Yeah, it's like a soft shell turtle. Hey, don't mind his appearance now. He's going through a bit of a metamorphosis, if you will.
Like a butterfly?
Yes, like a butterfly.
What's he gonna turn into?
We shall see.
Oh, okay. I'd like to see what he turns into.
I'm sure you will.
What? You just keep him in your pocket? Can he breathe in there?
Oh, he's fine. He doesn't
What
dare.
if you sit on him?
It's on the back pocket.
It's not a. It's in the front in the lab coat.
Oh, okay.
It's in the lab coat.
Goodness.
He's rather short.
I'm gonna use one.
He enjoys being.
Does he look dry, Justin?
For the most part, I mean, he looks like he's made out of skin. It's not like.
As we walk, I'm going to stealthily use a wand to make water to put some water in your pocket and get it wet. So that he's wet. Stealthily? You're not going to know it's me.
Well, I'm gonna
make a sleight of hand check.
I'm going to notice that my jacket's wet, probably.
Just you wait here. Just you. 26.
Make a perception check.
That poor little turtle. Sorry, 22.
Okay.
25.
Frick! Ah!
You watch as this very upbeat, very trusting, and kind Kappa slowly, carefully pulls out a wand, just ever so slightly tilts it towards your pocket, and you feel your pocket fill up with water and start leaking.
You sure that's not? It's not necessary.
What are you talking about? What?
You just used a wand and made water in my pocket.
Are you sure Leo didn't just pee on you?
Yes, I'm very, very, very sure.
Sorry, he looked a little dry. I was just trying to help.
He's not a normal turtle. He doesn't need water.
Right then. Just put that back in my shell and walk away.
As you're walking away, hold on.
And my shell is like, my shell looks different. From the back, you can see that it's not like normal shell. There's been stuff kind of infused into it, I guess. We didn't really describe exactly how it works, Justin, but I imagine it doesn't look like a normal shell.
It does not. So there is, Dr. Inwood would not have context for this, but Zach would for description. It looks like someone has hollowed out, cored out sections of her shell, and has replaced it with like a speaker system. Sections of her shell, like boombox, subwoofer style, far more technologically advanced than current level. Jessica, what languages does Michellangelo speak again?
I speak... I need a... Aquan, Common, Draconic, and Japanese.
Okay, you're walking, and after he says, it's like, I can't, Leo is not a regular turtle. Dr. Inwood has like a coughing fit, where it's like there's this rasping kind of noise that comes out of his mouth. And it just kind of sounds like he's got something caught in his throat.
Are you okay, mister? Doctor?
I'm fine. Thank you. Oh, matter, best get on your way, gather your things.
You need some water?
No. I need to get a new lab coat, though. I'm going to head off towards the lab.
It's summertime. I'm sure it'll just dry up as soon as you get outside. It's just... I'm just talking to myself. What a weirdo. Okay, well, I mean, that's Leo. I've never met... Okay, I think it'll be alright. He's fine, right? He's a doctor. Doctors know stuff. Okay. Hey, Marcus, wait up! I'll head up to the place we're supposed to go.
Okay, so you guys get all your stuff ready. You meet... I guess tarmac wouldn't be quite what they call it. They call it the airway or the airstrip. but it is like those old runways for airplanes. It's not quite like a tarmac as like we are familiar with.
Yeah.
But there is neither of you have seen a plane in person before. Like you've seen pictures of it, and you know, like the propeller plane 2-seater is like the epitome. Like it is some of the newest war technology being applied in this war, and like there's lots of that. And Alan, you've not studied airplanes, but the mechanical aspects of this war are not super important to you. But like they're tangentially related to your research, and like you've done some experiments and looked around with like the mustard gas and all that kind of stuff. The chemical warfare aspect of this war has been pretty interesting to follow, and then there's some tangential understanding. This is not a plane that you are familiar with in any capacity.
Mm-hmm.
It's bigger than the 2-seater that you're familiar with, and it fully looks like it is made out of seaweed. And you see Ekjot is running. He's almost like running a brush like you would with a horse on the side of this plane. It's closer to the like in shape and size to the World War II like paratrooper, like the smaller paratrooper planes that they used. It's small, a little bit smaller than that, so it's going to be a tighter fit for just you six.
Sir.
Sorry, 5. Just you 5.
Phil. Marcus,
Sir Albert's not
5.
coming with us. I
Oh,
don't think.
6,
Yeah.
unless Sir Albert's coming with us.
Yep, it's
Then 5.
you've met 6 so far, but there's only 5 of you going.
Great.
And there's a bench in like the kind of like bay area on both sides that also it looks like it's made out of like driftwood. And Marcus pops up and just like almost immediately like soldier style falls asleep on the bench. Has all of his gear ready. You have this huge, not Amazonian because she is Scottish, but this huge warrior woman sitting, and she's taking up most of the other bench. And Ekjot has. What was that?
Oh, can I sit next
I think
to...
he's the pilot.
Oh, never mind. He's the pilot. I was going to say, if I could sit next to the orc, I'd like to sit next to him, but...
There is, with how small you are, there's probably space up in the cockpit that you could probably fit in there if you go in.
Oh,
But there's no actual seat in there.
Oh, I'll wait until after we've taken off then. I'll just sit next to Floraidh.
Okay, so you sit in there. You get in. Alan, looking around, this entire thing appears to be alive. Like it's a living organism.
Oh, interesting. Ekjot, that is your name, is that correct?
He nods.
Would you mind if I took a sample of this marvelous craft? Just a small one.
He looks at you and he, do you speak Orcish?
I don't, but I do speak Goblin.
They are the same language, so...
Oh, nice.
Or, they're the same language the way, like, French and Spanish are the same language.
Oh.
Or Spanish.
Like, you understand most of what he's saying, but not all of it. And the gist of what he says to you in Orcish is, you'll have to ask the horse.
I will then turn to the horse and, in Sylvan, would you allow me to take a small sample for purely research purposes?
Sylvan would be the correct language. In like this rumbling,
The language of
almost
trees.
engine noise, the Kelpie says, what kind of sample?
Oh, just a small clipping of this, what looks to be kelp.
You may trim my mane.
Thank you very much. I will take out from my satchel like a test tube and a little like pair of surgical scissors and snip off a piece of it and put it in there. Well, like putting on gloves and everything and making sure I don't contaminate it and put it back in there.
Yeah.
Excellent. And I'm just going to sit down
Yeah,
with
so
my satchel in front of me.
For you, Michellangelo, he talks to it in like this musical, like flowing, like song. It's almost like this combo of like bird song and someone like whisper singing to the plane, and the plane in like the sound of horse hooves and the music you hear at a waterfall and the crashing of waves like rumbles out towards him. Unless you speak Sylvan, then you understood that completely.
I don't speak Sylvan, no. Whoa! This is really cool. I turned to Ekjot.
Ekjot?
Mr. E.
Ekjot.
Ekjot.
Ekjot. Oh, this is a mighty fine plane. Is this yours?
Do you speak Orcish?
Nope.
Then he says something to you in a guttural, staccato language that isn't something you understand.
I will do my best to translate.
No, I don't need you to translate.
Well,
I'm talking to him.
We're all in a confined space. I can hear it. Okay. Does it look like Michellangelo knows Orcish?
Make a just general deception check to see how well you hide that you have no idea what he's saying.
Hey, I rolled a 2, but let's see what it really is. Like a
deception. Bluff? Yeah.
Bluff, yeah, that's the one for this.
11.
Okay. She's playing it cool, but the lack of response, or like she's like, looks like she is like trying to process that something happened, but there's no, like, it doesn't look like she quite understood.
Are you American? Do you speak, American?
What did he say to her?
He said, thank you. My horse is a proud rider. Or at least that is what you understood.
Okay. He said thank you.
Oh, I was asking if you spoke American.
Well, yes, but it looked like you didn't quite understand what he said, and I don't think he speaks anything other than, I believe, Orcish.
Oh, thank you, Doctor.
Of course.
Are you the linguist too? Is that your specialty?
Not my specialty, no, but it certainly helps.
Oh, after you have this conversation, Florida looks up and says, "Oh, fuck, I was supposed to do that." And in the cramped confines of the plane, pulls out her huge sword and then proceeds to start tapping you all on the forehead.
You are... What you doing to my bandana?
she casts comprehend languages on you guys, specifically because this is what she's supposed to be doing.
What'd you do that for?
And she looks at you and she says straight in Gaelic, but you hear it in Japanese, so that we can understand each other.
I started
and the spell itself, all spells have like inherently different ways that they manifest, even if they have the same effect.
Yeah.
The way that this particular casting of comprehend languages goes is that there is like some versions, like it's almost like subtitles or it's been dubbed over, and you don't even really notice outside of like the mouth and the words don't quite line up. Her version, you hear it in the language that they're speaking, and simultaneously you hear it in the language that is your like native first tongue.
Cool. Yeah.
And while that's happening, you are fully aware that something like magical is rooting around in your brain and changing the input of the input from your ears.
Awesome.
Like you can feel that like tingle where like it changes as the neurons fire through.
Well, thanks, Florida. That's a cool trick. You must be the linguist then, if Doctor.
No.
Okay.
Alright, and then Ekjot says, and everyone sit down!
Sit.
He gets into the cockpit, and instead of like, none of you know how a plane works, right? So there's no, like, it's not a disconnect in your brain that he sits down in a pilot's chair and pulls out a horse reins made out of seaweed.
What? That's so cool.
And he cracks the reins, and the Kelpie takes off. Could you all, both of you, just do like a general engineering check for me real quick?
Oh, it was almost a 20. 8 for me.
Okay.
11.
Alright. Planes flying, Michellangelo. There's nothing you really worry about. You don't quite know how planes work, like their function in like how the wings work. You were pretty sure, Alan, that the wings aren't supposed to flap.
Curious.
That's super. This is awesome!
And so, middle of the day, plane comes up and flies to the space that you're supposed to go. You're not... It's probably about an hour in. Nothing really has happened. You catch some wind drifts, up drifts, you go up, you go down. It's not smooth and it's a little cramped. Could one of you guys roll me a D100?
Yeah, I can do that.
You want to do that? Oh my gosh!
While we're flying, I'm going to, as best I can, be reviewing my formula book.
Yeah, no, you have plenty of time to do that.
And just like, organizing and reorganizing different ingredients and components inside my...
Of course, yeah.
Can I ask Ekjot if he's from America?
He looks at you and says, "No, I'm from India."
Cool.
You ever been to Kashmir?
No. Is that a perfume shop?
Does sound kind of
No, it's near my homeland.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yes. Did you guys roll the D100?
Yeah, 55.
55. Excellent. So as you fly in, weather's pretty nice. It actually, there's a little bit of rain, but there's not quite like a storm going on. It's just, there's some more clouds. It's like a late summer rain as you get closer to the water in that spot. You fly in, and looking as you fly, there's not quite a clear shot of visual to the water. The rain kind of obscures it a little bit. And flying in close, you feel like this humming noise, but it's not like an audible noise. It's something you feel in your body. As you come in closer, there's like this break, and Ekjot gets like real close to the bottom of to the top of the water. Like there's a couple times where you almost feel like it's like one bad downdraft, and you just like right into it. And you're pulling in closer, and you guys look out. There's like this stillness where the waves don't quite move, and the water almost looks like it stops. It rains into this area. You can't quite look into it, and then as you get closer, that humming sensation gets fuller and fuller, until like it almost feels like your body is vibrating.
A curious sensation.
And as like you get closer, and I guess Ekjot leans back and says, "I don't trust that this feeling gets stronger as we get closer. I'm going to pull us to the side and park us here." And he like crests to the side and actually physically lands into the water. And you feel like this like shifting, and like you watch as the seaweed moves. And Ekjot is going to cast, I don't remember this particular spell. It's the summoner spell that lets your Eidolon shift around evolutions.
Gotcha.
Nice.
And is going to switch from a flyer to a swimmer. And the Kelpie.
That is really cool.
Yeah, and so the Kelpie is going to swap around until it's swimming, and you can. There's no more wings, but you almost feel and see like there are legs pushing you forward, and you're floating in the water, and there's no roof above you anymore. Then you're on a boat. That is also a horse made of seaweed.
Are we going swimming? I'm pretty good at swimming.
Marcus stands up. I'm a fair shake, but it's not my strong suit. I don't like we're this far from the shore.
Can I use a knowledge arcana to see if I can kind of maybe gather some information on what this buzzing is, this vibrating?
Absolutely.
Nice. Smart idea.
Oh, that would be a 12.
It's not any sensation you've quite felt before. Obviously, like, in your past, you've experienced, like, sonic weapons and sonic, like, containment areas, and so like there's like a certain level of like vibration, like there's correlation and like a vibrational kind of concept.
Yeah.
There doesn't feel like there's like a uniform frequency to what you're feeling. And so either this phenomena is oscillating wavelengths at inconsistent intervals, or this isn't an actual like sonic vibration that you're feeling. And that's just the best way that your body can interpret the signals that it's getting. Marcus stands up and he's like, all right. Well, as much as I don't think we should approach, there's not a lot we can do just staring at this affected area 100 feet away, and so unless anybody has better ideas, I think we might have to go towards it.
Oh, one moment.
If we need to go stealthily, I mean, I'd say I'm the expert in that. What are you guys experts of? Maybe we should like make sure we know what we're getting into and who we can rely upon. If there's sneaky stuff, I can help. But fighting, and looks at like Florida, maybe you'd better do that.
Florida nods.
Allow me. Reach into my pocket. Leo, would you be so kind as to swim that way a ways? See what you see? I'm just gonna drop him in the water.
Alright. You toss your familiar in the water.
He has a 3-foot swim speed.
Oh. It's agonizing to watch this thing like
20 feet in 6 seconds.
I can go 40.
Well, it's just a little turtle.
I'm a little turtle.
No, you're a really big turtle.
Oh,
a small person, a big turtle.
It's adorable. I just watched Leo. Go, Leo, you got
It's like watching Michellangelo walk.
Yeah, it's like, okay. I could have done that. I guess I've been replaced.
I assure you, he's much slower on land.
Your turtle familiar swims forward. It takes it's moving 20, so it takes 5 rounds, so about 30 seconds to get. Well, I guess he's dashing. You can go 4 times, so it only takes him 12 seconds to swim over. You're only about 100 feet away. Remind me again. Can you see through the eyes of your familiar in Pathfinder?
You
just would be deaf.
Let me
blind.
No. Well, let me double check because this is a specific kind of familiar.
Oh. Mr. E, what's your specialty? Is transportation? Is that right?
Transportation, and I have a few friends in the Irish Fae Court.
Oh, so contacts too, people.
I have a friendly relationship with them, yes.
And then Marcus, you build stuff, is that right?
He says, I am a structural engineer, and I am also a soldier, and I specialize in demolitions.
Oh, great.
It doesn't say specifically that I can, so I assume that I can't, and he's just going to have to come back to me and talk to me.
Bomb squad.
Okay.
He's a bomb squad. Dr. Allen, what do? You're a doctor. You just take care of body parts?
Yes.
It's 13th to 14th level you can scry on him.
Huh.
Okay. In a manner of speaking, I am keen to understand the workings of natural bodies, magical and non-magical.
So if someone
And
got hurt,
also-
that's what you would do?
Yes. I also enjoy, in my free time, some experimentation in manipulating.
Is that what happened to Leo?
Yes, actually, yes. But it's not what you think.
Okay.
Leo has
I don't
always...
know what I think yet.
Leo has always been in that form.
Okay. Oh, okay. We'll just wait for Leo to come back, I guess. Even though
It'll
I'm
be a
the
long shortly, I'm
expert
sure.
of sneaking. She sounds a little bitter.
I'm gonna have you roll a perception check for Leo, and then have him come back to you.
I can do that.
Nice.
He has really insane perception for some reason.
Ooh, that's nice.
That would be a 19.
19. All right. So Leo swims back to you, and he gets back in the water. You have to lean over to pick him up because you're a little bit above, so he can't quite crawl back into where you're at. And talking to you in his, I guess, what does Leo sound like in your head?
So here's a question. You know what Leo is, what type of familiar he is, right?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm does he speak to, do we actually talk, or do I just reattach him and I can understand what he saw?
I'm thinking probably a reattachment is...
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pick him
So I
up,
guess then...
kind of dry him off a bit,
Okay.
and then I'm going to put him under my shirt.
What are you doing to that poor turtle? Is he cold? Are you keeping him warm?
Yes. Yes, I am.
Okay.
Yeah. You feel as Leo absorbs back into your body and becomes
my
the
God.
tumor that he originally was.
Oh my god.
Uh,
That's awesome.
Alchemists are
Yeah.
freaking weird,
Turtles
okay?
coming out of your body.
Alchemists are just weird.
Did we?
Uh-huh.
I forget. Did I tell you that I was going to be a Kappa before all this? Like, did we know that we were going to both have turtle powers?
I don't know. Actually, no, I remember this because you told me that after I decided, like, oh, it'd be really, like, a turtle would be a really funny familiar to have, like, and eventually he's going to turn into something else.
Yeah.
But then I was just like, oh my gosh, that's so funny.
That's so good. Oh gosh.
Yeah, that was not planned.
That was awesome.
That's good. There's like that half second where the synapses and the neurons fire back in, and then you get that secondary input into your brain, and you rifle through your new memories. You remember swimming through the water. You remember feeling, as you get closer, almost like you feel like your body's going to be shaken apart. Like you can almost feel like your atoms vibrating as you get closer to this wall. And then there's absolute stillness as you touch it, and you look through, and there is Leo's thought process, and you can feel it and hear it, is that it's an island, right? Because Leo, for all his many benefits, is still at the intelligence of a turtle. And so to see something of that size, it's and shape, Leo has a hard enough time distinguishing a log from an alligator from a piece of land. Like, it's something for him that's not water to stand on. Like, you, Dr. Inwood, can see that this is a composite of manufactured materials. There is from what you can see, it's a inverse triangle, so like two prongs of a star sticking out, and like this ramp in between. So like if this is the side that he's looking at, there's these two metal triangular prong sticking out, and then a triangular ramp in the center.
Okay.
And there appears to be a larger structure behind it, but it is floating in the water, and it's not the time-worn technology that you are familiar with. That is more crystals and space magic, and the future technology from the past that you're familiar with is very much something that somebody from the 80s or 60s who thought they knew what the future looked like did a cartoon. That's that aesthetic. This is way more like military sci-fi from the 90s.
Got it.
It's all hard edges and gray metal, and there's a language that you don't quite understand on the edge, because comprehend language, for whatever reason, you have to touch words to understand them.
I mean, I know Common, Dwarven, Elven, Goblin, Sylvan, Reptoid.
Look at you.
It's not one of those.
You do not speak this language.
Okay. Well, Leo has returned, a little cold, but none the worse for wear. It seems like the vibrations cease at a certain point, and then the water is calm, and at its epicenter there appears to be some form of metallic structure. There are two prongs, a ramp, a larger structure. Leo wasn't quite able to make it out very well, but it doesn't seem that going closer will cause us any harm.
Marcus shrugs and says, well, then I guess we'll go.
Well, great. Are we wanting to take the airplane, or are we trying to swim in stealth-like?
Marcus looks around and he says, I don't know about the rest of you, but I am not a swimmer.
Ekjot, is there any way that this marvelous steed could convey us there underwater? In Goblin, I see.
Yeah, there is.
We have comprehend language.
Comprehend language is still going on. There is, and so he'll cast the last of that level spell that he can cast, but it's basically all he does. So, and he'll swap it back to. It'll encapsulate you guys. The price of multi-classing. There's only so much he can do.
Yeah. Oh, this thing is cool. I will. If we're going by seahorse, I'm gonna pull out my wand of Pass Without a Trace, and I'll cast it on the seahorse.
All right. That's a plus what again?
I believe plus 10 to stealth checks is what it is in D&D, but let me double check here.
No, Pass Without a Trace is different.
This one's different. It says, subject or subjects of the spell do not leave footprints or a scent trail while moving. Tracking the subjects is impossible by non-magical means.
Yeah, Pass Without a Trace is for tracking, not for stealth.
Lame. Well, I'll do it anyway. So it won't make waves behind us.
Yeah, you
Deal. So it slides down deeper into the water, protects you guys, and you swim towards this space. As you get where there's this shaking and vibrating, it almost feels like your body is going to just be torn asunder. And you pass through this wall, and even underwater you actually physically see it's almost like passing through like this thin actually my camera shows a great
picture. That's awesome.
That's about what I'm imagining, where like it's almost like there's like this faint shimmer of light that you pass through, and it's gone. And he swims it so it's up to that ramp, and there's this opening that you can crawl out from the space onto the metal of this ship, I guess.
Yeah.
Or you guess. There's not a good
How big is
comparison in your head.
triangle? How big is it?
It's big enough that this ship can almost like crawl up onto it. And as you get on, almost the entirety of this, and like you look around, you can like, if you walk up, almost the entirety of the 50 square mile area that is like affected, that nothing can get through, is it's the surface area of this metal star just floating in the water. And there is a metal spike jutting up from the center. And then just like and then it's buildings. Nothing like taller than like a single story, but it almost looks like a town on a metal star with a metal spike sticking out of the center of the star.
What?
And as far as you can tell, there's nobody around.
Well, this is curious.
We ain't in Kansas anymore. Ha.
We
I
are.
nudged Marcus. Get it? Get it? That's an American joke.
I mean,
Pretty sure
yes.
The Oz hasn't happened yet.
Oh, the Wizard of Oz. When was the May? When was that? No,
I think
that
that
was
was
made
the
before.
40s.
that movie was way, way younger than that.
It wasn't.
The book's probably been around for a hot minute, but
I'll look it up because
Have to check.
that's
but
true.
there's like barely movies at this point, and they're all silent films.
and at this point, most of them are war
39
reports.
39.
was when it was made, but it wasn't. I don't think it was filmed until later. Oh, it's the 1900 children's novel, so the book has been around, but it was.
Yeah, 1939. Is it 1939?
No, it's World War One. It's
Oh, right, no, it's way before it.
15 or
15.
16.
Never mind, that was irrelevant. I don't know what I'm talking about. Let's go.
Look around. Marcus is looking around, and he's like, "There is no way this should be floating. It's too big. There's not enough. The surface area is wrong."
I think we can safely say, good dwarf, that we are far out of the realm of the mundane.
I agree. I suppose we should be quiet.
Oh, I
That
can be
might be
quiet.
for the best.
Alright.
Are we... We're dry, right? We didn't get wet.
You are currently dry, yes. It is raining, so
Okay. So we might get a little wet.
you'll get wet, and but you're not
So
like soaking from a swim.
Okay. Well, once we get to an area where it's dry, I can use this tiny little spell that will just, it works in a pinch. It'll make you dry. It's prestidigitation. So once we start walking in areas that are not supposed to have water on them, I will use that to clean everybody up so there's no water drops.
Okay. So, options for movement, and it's there are like three main ways. So, like, you could scout the perimeter on to the left or the right, and just walk around the edge of this place, and maybe you get a feel for that edge, and so you can either go to the left or the right, and then who knows what's on either side of that. Or it looks like you can go straight in, and there's like a main thoroughfare of road, or maybe not road, but like space between buildings ahead of you. You could also like probably crawl on top of the roof and run that way, but everything is made out of metal, and that probably would be loud.
Oh yeah.
And so I'm going to leave that up to you guys. Which way would you like to go?
I say maybe we should do a perimeter sweep. Know what we're getting into?
Well,
Or we just jump into the middle of it and die?
generally, the important parts of any structure are towards the center. That spike seems rather enticing. Perhaps we should make our way there.
Well, you're the doctor, so...
I am not the only person in this team. Nor am I an expert on metallurgy and...
Let's be honest, we're
mechanical.
all really curious about that thing. We're going there anyway. Let's just go there.
Florida shrugs her shoulder and says, seems like a good idea as any. And then Marcus nods. Might as well. Ekjot, stay with the horse and make sure we have an exit. And so the horse pulls back and actually floats down underwater with Ekjot.
Did we need to go underwater to get here? Or could we have just gone on the surface?
You could have gone on the surface. Because of Michellangelo's suggestion, you guys went underwater.
Gotcha.
Just purely out of like a stealth.
We
I mean, it is a big. The Kelpie is a big, technically gargantuan creature.
Yeah, that would draw some eyes.
So it's easier if you're underwater, that's for sure. Looking, and I know you guys have to go soonish, but looking around, there's this metal. There are at the points of the star. It looks like a fountain of water that spurts up, and then like arcs into a channel that runs water towards the center of the star. And there's in addition to like the thoroughfare that like you think you could walk straight to the spire from, there looks like there are channels through the buildings, and some of them, like the buildings, are like built up and over the channel itself of water going straight to. And there's, from the points that you can see, there's two. There might be some on the other points of the star. They're just farther away.
And there's no one around.
None that you can see.
That's super weird.
Mm-hmm. So you guys make your way forward. I'm going to have you do a group stealth check.
Woo!
The first, like, in-danger roll of the game.
Yay! You know what? This sucks because I rolled low. 18 still with a 2.
Ouch. I got a 3. My stealth should be much higher. I don't know why I didn't put any skill ranks into it.
Next time.
But
Okay.
I got a
Marcus gets a 19. And a 14 from Florida.
Sweet. So just the doctor's loud.
So you guys, for the most part, make your way quietly. Alan is not wearing the right shoes to be. He's got nice soles that clack a little bit when they hit the metal. And like you guys managed to like keep him on a good path, but you're walking, and as you walk, you stealthily you kind of like go between buildings, and looking in, all of the buildings are furnished. Everything's made out of metal, so like metal table, metal probably beds, maybe benches, chairs. They all seem to be like attached into the floor. And when you get close to the buildings, it looks like the metal has like just like lifted up to make the wall. So like it's like a seamless like transition, like almost like a smooth, almost organic like transition. It a little bit feels like a metal diorama of a house versus an actual home. There's nothing is made out of any material that isn't metal. So you don't see pillows, you don't see like blankets, mattresses. It is just metal. So like that's why you're like not sure if it's a bench or if it's a bed frame. But it's like just a solid metal slab. And it's like roughly the size and shape as like a twin bed. And you go past, and then there's like a table and then like a couch. The couch is made out of metal, and a different room.
Marcus, have you ever seen anything like this made before with all your experience in building stuff?
No, I've made things out of stone before, but nothing out of metal to quite this extent. Nothing quite this smooth. There's no weld lines. There's no rivets. There's no signs of a forge of any kind. It's almost like they've all been cast and placed. There's also no rust. We're in the middle of the ocean, and this is.
Oh, that's weird.
No rust. There's nothing like growing on the metal. Actually, he'll probably do an engineering check.
That's crazy.
Yeah, this is made entirely out of mithril.
What? Is that really
nickel? That's cool.
mithril?
Mithril. Oh.
You said nickel. That's cool.
Mithril, I guess, is cool too.
Is that a good material for building stuff, Marcus?
It's a great material for building stuff. This is more mithril than I even thought existed on Earth.
Well, what's it doing out here, floating in the ocean?
I don't know. I mean, it is a part of the Scandinavian folklore, but...
What kind of folklore?
Scandinavian, he smiles. The Nordics, Proto-Germanics, mithril, not quite the same word, but the concept of it, the metal itself is described in like the prose Edda, like a metal that's like strong as steel but lighter than it. It's a god metal, basically.
Oh, interesting.
Like the idea of it's like danced around in like Norse mythology and that kind of stuff, but and so like of course he is a dwarf whose culture is like based in like the Nordic idea of a dwarf, is familiar with it, but like it's super rare, and he's telling you all that, and it shouldn't be here in this quantity. The amount of time, money, and resources that went into the construct of this is insane. And as you guys are walking around, what are your guys' two things. What is your guys' perception score or bonus? And
my bonus is a +5.
Mine is a +9.
Okay, so 15 and 19.
You wise old
and then
young man.
I'm not old.
You're not. You're just twice my age.
okay, so you're walking. Everything feels off here, right?
Yeah.
But you'll look into these rooms, and every once in a while, you almost like get this feeling that there should be more in there. And part of you chalks it up to like there's like this implication that it's like a room with like there's a table, and the table has like metal utensils grown up out of the table, and they're attached to the table. There's no plates, there's no food, so there's an implication that there should be more there. Or like there's that space with the bed, and it almost feels like there needs to be a mattress there. There's things that imply that there's stuff missing, but also like there's like this inherent like feeling that there feels like there's something missing. Looking around,
I'm gonna cast No Direction and see if it's changed.
it is directly north to the spire.
Interesting.
Is that north, or it just points to?
That is where the no direction tells you north is.
I get the sense that this place is some type of pole of some sort because it's messing with my no directions. So,
Like a magnetic pole.
Sure. And we should probably head towards that spire. It seems to be messing up stuff.
And as you say that, you see like this faint outline of a person walk into one of the houses.
No!
And as you like focus in on it, there's nobody there. There's nobody in the house. There's nobody in that room. You don't see anything.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Go.
And
I don't know. That's where we have to go.
alright, that's where you have to go.
Oh my gosh. That's cool.
Clarification though.
Trippy.
Did we all see that, or was that only Michellangelo?
Yeah, I think both of you would see that.
Okay.
Wow. That's nuts. Well, thanks, Justin. This is cool.
Mysteries about
You're very welcome.
mysteries. I am really gonna enjoy this character.
Do you want to play next Sunday at 1 if nothing else comes up?
Yeah, that's totally good for me.
Sweet. We'll do nothing all day. We'll walk it off.
Do I know anything about the order of the white chalice or black chalice?
Winter chalice and the black chalice.
Winter.
Make me a knowledge local check.
Okay. Tumor familiars are weird.
Aren't they?
I mean, just in general, alchemists are just super strange, but...
Yeah.
Knowledge... Local, you said?
Yep.
I do not have that trained, so...
I am trained in all kinds of knowledge.
But I rolled a 14, and my
14, alright.
modifier is a +3, so 17 total.
17 total. You don't have any knowledge of the black chalice. There's some inferences that you feel like you can make. The Order of the Winter Chalice is a Oxford like secret society that it's not quite a open secret, but it's definitely it more runs on the local urban myth kind of deal. But it's like this gentleman, the upper crust of Oxford, the people who study there, the academic elite who believe in the occult, who want to dabble in that, like the kind of like gentleman adventurer kind of.
Gotcha.
Like, but like the magic version, like it's very like old upper crust English British. Like I'm worldly and experienced because I'm dabbling in the magical cabal of whatever.
Yeah,
and it's more of a like social club than an actual magical order. Mm-hmm. So they do have some actual magical things. There's some inferences that you can make from if the Order of the Blackened Chalice is a sister organization. Odds are your best guess. It's probably a subgroup within the Winter Chalice of people who actually can do magic.
Gotcha. It's the cool.
So it's like a secret society within the secret society.
Yes. Yeah.
Wow. Just for being human, look at you.
Yeah, just for being human.
Yep, totally all human.
Yep. Nothing suspicious here.
Mr. Leo. I'm so excited to learn more stuff. This is going to be fun.
All
right. Well, I will see you guys next week at 1.
Sounds good.
Awesome.
See ya.
Bye, Justin.
Bye.